You are stronger than you'll ever know. Keep fighting and keep leading the way and always being yourself.
Can't wait to do a video, sis.
Hi, Ma. I love you.
You're tuning in now to King's Podcast.
Hey guys, and we're back here at King's Podcast doing our 1 month anniversary, I guess you can say, because I only do this every month or like once a month. And we're here in Shoe Studios with the talented, best, great, the only one that I will ever use, Spud Brooklyn. So thank you guys also for watching when I do post and, the little content that I do make, either if it's TikTok or me just being funny on my Instagram. Just thank you guys so much for supporting and even asking when I'm going to do another podcast and like what is this going to be talked about or whatever the case is. Last podcast, I know I left off where I was just like, I'm done with relationships, I'm done with dating, I'm done with this, that, was like on a whole rampage of like story times, all this and other, all these other things. But I had asked one of my friends, like, hey, listen, what do you think I should do for the, previous podcast? Now that I said everything about that, like, what should I just open up with? And as funny as it sounds, God had another plan for me. And instead of my best friend helping me with this podcast, he actually gave me a bonus for this. And everything I said last podcast, we're going to scratch that. We're just going to start fresh. So the reason why I didn't want to do any story time, not was it because I didn't want to share my experience. It's just because I just feel like that's just not my type of person. But my best friend did tell me, like, she was like, hey, listen, like, I want you to talk about what you're going through because it can help me in many ways, such as other people. And I was like, you know what, like, I like to talk my crap, so why not? The reason why I say that God had another plan for me was because, so I am exclusively with somebody. The dating scene, like I said, was not me, and clearly I didn't want to have anybody in my bubble or business, but this person definitely came in my bubble and business, and it was not planned. And like I said, God said, haha, you're funny, watch this. And honestly, it has me, yes, I am healing, and I very much am aware of like the things that I need to fix, and also aware of the things that I need to come correct in or that I'm doing good in, And with this relationship that I embarked on, it's actually, as you know how many people be like, oh, it's cliche, like, oh my God, this person's so different. This person is very different from what I am used to, like, in all aspects. There is still just a little bit of crazy that, I just kind of need a little bit, but it's like healthy crazy, if that makes sense. But whatever, you know the point. But yeah, no, she's like really, really different, and it helps me out in so many ways because at first I was like, you know what, I feel like I am just jumping and not giving myself time, or I'm not learning to be by myself, or whatever the case is. Those were all the things that I kept worrying about, or even worrying about what people would say, like, hey, you just was, trying to figure things out, and then now you're this, and now you're with this person. Like, I was very, very into it with like people thinking of me in a wrong way, or not being able to express, or I guess you can say show your true person that you're being when you're being viewed other ways. I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I was very scared. So when I met this person, we met in April. I decided to do they're called like a Women's Love Women's event. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I never did this. I'm always on like dating apps or whatever, because I'm shy, and PUSSY. It rhymed. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? Let me just go to this event. And I went to 2 events. The first event, it was called like the Walk-In or something, which is really good, by the way, guys. You should go. It's a little small, but it gets packed, and its music is great, especially if you like Spanish music, whatever. I'm over here promoting it. But anyway, so yeah, so I went to the Walk-In. And I met a girl there, and I was like, all right, cool, this is fun, whatever. But again, I was still healing at the time, well, very much healing, and I was going through what I was going through with my ex situation. So it wasn't nothing like serious like that. So I was like, all right, so we're talking around, whatever. Then I went to another Women's Love Woman event, and that's where I met we're gonna call her Pinky. That's where I met Pinky. and whatever, she was dancing, right? I'm gonna paint y'all like a little storyline, right? I'm not really good with my words, so just close your eyes. All right, ready? Okay. So, right, we're dancing on the floor, whatever. I'm not dancing. She dancing. Everybody's cool vibing, look like a little warehouse. And she got I'm trying not to laugh. She got these like white pom pom shorts on, this black corset thing, whatever. I didn't even see that she had heels on. She tells me to this day that she had heels. That was not my view. It was not important. Anyway, so she was just dancing, whatever, and I'm a very shy person, as I said multiple times. I will not go up to her, girl. I am sorry. I am like 5'2.5", and I like girls that are taller than me, and I still look apparently like a damn child. So going up to somebody and doing that whole, getting all that worked up energy to go up to you, and then you be like, no, little one. And I'm like, okay, you got it. I'm grown, but you got it. Yeah, I'm not doing all that. So I don't go up to people at all unless I can maneuver it within words and I can like text you or Instagram you, whatever the case is. Yeah, I'm not going up. So I guess like I was like staring at her for quite some time, but she was staring at me and I didn't know what was going on, so whatever. Point being, her friend wound up grabbing me and was like, you want to talk to my friend or something like that, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And I wind up going next to her. The girl was tall as hell because she had freaking heel boots, whatever those things are called. And I was like, you got Instagram? She was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. Got her Instagram and left. I left. I didn't ask for a number. I didn't ask, can we dance? I didn't even really hear her name correctly. I just ran. And then after that, I think like I waited 20 more minutes and I actually dipped the place completely. But funny story is that this has nothing to do with it, but it's just funny. I actually interrupted her little date session because I had turned around before I left and saw that she was with another girl, long, curly, luscious hair. I thought I was done for. I was like, yeah, lost this one. And all my friends with that ass was like laughing at me and they were like, you see, you took too long. You should have danced with her. You should have this. And I was just like, damn. So then later on that night, I hit her up, and we've been talking since then, but we never really took anything serious. Like, it was literally just us dating. But she always made sure to ask the questions that I never even thought to even ask. And I've been in, like, 4 freaking other relationships, and I've never asked these questions. And that was already a green flag. The second green flag was just her being so, like, stern on her boundaries. I have never had somebody like, yeah, we all have our boundaries, of course. We're all gonna sometimes even cross those boundaries for people, of course, understandable. But this girl, like, showed me, like, a stern way and, like, that it's okay to say no and that it's also okay that you don't like certain things or don't want to do certain things. Like, she's showing me and she showed me in the very beginning of just meeting her that your peace and who you are yourself is way more important than anything else. You understand? And that actually kind of made me lean into her more. But yeah, like I said, we were dating and I never took it any way of like seriousness. Like, oh, this girl is going to be my girlfriend or we're going to be forever. So once she has told me like she was dating, I was like, all right, cool. And like, we just kind of was just dating around. So it was like, yeah, I was in with my ex situation, but like she knew that. Like, it was just weird, but whatever. So we wind up, whatever, talking more. I had came back from my vacation and we started talking about being more like exclusive. And we started talking about taking things a little bit more serious and stuff like that. And I'm going to be very honest, it has been going very, very well and very shockingly well. Because like I said, I'm still healing. So you would think like, yo, if you're healing, you're supposed to be away from relationships, doing what you got to do to learn about yourself and things like that. This girl still gives me that option to do that. And it just made me look at relationships so differently. Like, I was so scared and traumatized to talk about my feelings or if something bothered me in the sense of like, I thought I was so sensitive. I thought that I was just doing too much. And this girl has sat me down and was like, no, you need to talk about this so I know what's going on. And it had made that right there, that was like a healing part of me. Because I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm so traumatized where I'm at right now that not everybody wants a family and not everybody wants to do these things, and I'm just so, I guess you can say, like, I'm just so focused on the future and then what happened in my past that I'm literally not living for my present. And with this girl, like, she has shown me, like, not everything is gonna go as planned. You could sit here with somebody and be like, I want to be with you forever. I want to be with you future-wise and everything. And granted, that is beautiful words to say. And granted, you're going to say those words. And that's probably even what you're leading up to. But you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen the day after. Or, God forbid, there's an opportunity. Or you don't know any of these things but just right now. And with this person, she has made me feel that just being right now for that moment is fine. It's okay. I'm happy. I'm at peace. And I guess that is another healing part that she has even helped me heal, because I'm at peace. I used to be so worried about somebody's phone, or I used to be so worried about somebody touching my phone, if they were going to feel a type of way about, you know, my homegirl hitting me up saying mamas, or me calling that person mamas, or if they were going to feel a type of way if my friend hugged me a little tight and she was a girl. And like, I was always so scared and so worried about having my people and the people that I loved around my person, that I didn't know that that was a part of me that needed to be healed as well. And this is why I say I have literally been healing through this relationship and continuing to heal, because I am literally learning things that are not bad. Like, I'm not the problem. Like, you know how many people would be like, "Oh, another person's trash and another person's treasure." Like, it's literally that. I probably wasn't what my ex situation needed. And I probably wasn't what my ex needed, or any of my exes. And that's okay, because they weren't what I needed. Clearly, you know, we're on all different type of paths. That's okay. I need to understand that maybe I'm not that person for somebody, but I can be that person for somebody else. And maybe that person isn't for me, but somebody can be for me. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be somebody out there that is willing to give you what you want and what you deserve. As long as you're willing to give and, you know, do the same thing back for the person, you're always going to find that match for you. You can't sit there and think, okay, well, I'm going to stick with this person even though this person is not, you know, willing to learn to love me, or willing to learn to accept me for my family choices, or, you know, willing to come with me to a family event. Like, there's gonna be a person that's gonna, like, sit there and be like, babe, let's go hang out with your family, go do let's go play basketball, whatever the case is. You understand? Like, don't give up. And that's why I really do appreciate, like, my healing growth right now, because I'm even making some mistakes. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm making mistakes, and I'm allowing myself to learn from them, because this is not something that I want to continue in my life. And that's another thing too. When you guys are healing through everything, you guys got to understand that when you are learning your stuff, it's because you want to learn. It's not because you have to or anything. It's because you're literally putting in the effort because you want to be better for yourself. That's that big realization, like, hey, listen, I'm healing. I'm maturing, I'm growing. You understand? And what really helped me as well too, like, I have a friend that that's not even a friend, it's a family. He is my brother. He is my ride or die. We don't talk as much. We even had a fallout, but I will take a goddamn bullet for that man. And he was, you know, his name is Jose. He was relations with my first ever ex. And because of that, I was unable to have conversations with my previous person about this man, and it made it really hard for me, because it felt like I had to literally choose between my friendship and, you know, not my friendship, my family, and a relationship. And when I met Pinky, it was just total different ball game, because she wound up informing me, like, listen, as long as you keep me secure, like, she didn't, you know, these are not her genuine words, but it was like, as long as you're honest with me, as long as you're, you know, you're not leading me in any other direction, I believe you. I got you. Or, like, I support you. Like, you understand? And that that you don't understand how much that means, because it's like I don't have to step on eggshells. I can sit there and talk about anybody and anything without worrying if I'm going to I'm going to wreak the sorrows of my words, either physical or verbal abuse or anything like that. So it just felt really, really good to have that. Like, it's like, give or take, like, coming home feels different. And it just feels like a weight has just been lifted off when you know that you have somebody who's literally taking their time out and effort to just learn you, to study you, to know your habits, your tics, your everything, because they want to. They want to learn to love you. That right there is just so different. And I always thought that couldn't happen because I was so worried about, what if me and this person doesn't have a future? Why am I doing all this? Why am I allowing this person to know all these things if they don't see a future in me? And like I said in the beginning of this podcast, I continue to worry about the future and keep having my past in my back, and I wasn't learning about my present. So now that I'm learning about my present, like I said, it just feels so good. The world right now is different. I don't go out anymore like I used to, where I'm going outside and just enjoying my life and, like, I guess saying playing football or basketball, whatever the case is with my friends. I don't do that. I don't even me and my friends are so tired at this point that we haven't even, well, okay, I haven't even, but some of us have not hit 30 just yet, and we have literally felt like we are on breaking bones and life support because we don't go out. We are so worried, as anybody nowadays, especially either if you're in your late 20s, your early 30s, or even if you're just in your 50s, 60s, whatever the age it is, money right now, finance right now, everybody is worried about that. Everybody is worrying, how am I going to get this amount of money to get this car, or this amount of money to pay this bill, or to do a podcast that I want. Everything is always focused on money. And me and my friends have just been so consumed with life that I just forgot, like, we just forgot how to, like, we just forgot how to live. We forgot to go outside and, like, just be us and just not care if we have a cell phone or using it for the camera or anything like that. And it kind of sucks because it's like you see that a lot nowadays. You see that a lot of people are just honestly just so tired with life that they forget to keep living. They forget that you don't get this chance again. It's not like a video game, or it's not like where, okay, God has a purpose for you. I know you're not gonna, go anywhere. You'll be okay. You're not immortal. You're not superhuman. Like, this is your life. You understand? And I always say this in every one of my podcasts, to live your life and be smart about it, because I can't stress it as much. Like, I'm nowhere near close to hopefully, passing away or getting to that type of, I guess, spot in my life where I have to worry if I'm going to wake up tomorrow or not. But I keep pushing on it because I'm seeing everything that's going on in the world, just like all of you guys. I'm seeing what's going on with Gaza. I'm seeing what's going on with Congo. I'm seeing what's going on with Haiti. I'm seeing what's going on right now where they literally have people, have ICE, I guess, coming out in Chicago, taking kids without no clothing, no nothing, getting raided for what? That's why I say all the time in any one of my podcasts, keep living. The life is too short. Keep living, keep striving, because you probably are going through so much in your life, and I mentally and physically are just not feeling okay, but there's somebody that's going to go through that 10 times more and more, and that they're going to keep trying to keep living. So it's just like, why should you stop? Why should you be like, okay, somebody passed away and I want to go with them? What's that going to do for you? That's not going to stop you from crying. That's not going to get you the person back. If anything, you're going to hurt the people that you leave behind. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I stress that so much. You guys don't understand. Like, it was hard putting myself out there again. When everything had happened with me in my little situation or my little box of my world, I literally was putting myself through absolute hell. And I still to this day put myself sometimes and be like, you're not enough, you're not good, or you're not this, or you will never make it. But now I use that as motivational words sometimes. Yes, sometimes we have our days where it's just gonna crash us down or whatever, and those words are gonna be the demons talking to you in the back of your head. But I use them sometimes. I do let them get to me, but sometimes I use them as motivation. And I feel like that's just what everybody should be doing. I don't want it to be that while you're listening to this podcast, you're just like, oh, okay, that was a cool story. That was, like, that was fun. That was I can, connect or whatever. No, I want you to really be like, damn, she just talked about Gaza. What's going on there? Or damn, she just talked about this. What's going on there? Because we're not getting the resources for it at all. So that's why I say, when you live your life and you are doing it to the fullest, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel like there's peace. You're going to feel happy again. Yes, you're going to hit those depressing states, but you're going to feel more like yourself. And I kind of just want to let you guys know that if at this moment you feel like it's a little hard, just keep going. Just keep pushing. And honestly, I want to leave off with just like a happy note. When I came on and say, like, and every of my podcast should just keep moving, just keep living, it's because there's many times that I didn't want to do those things. So it's also like a reminder for me too, especially if I'm looking back into these podcasts and I'm like, okay, why am I still doing this? That also gives me a reminder, like, hey, listen, it's like me talking to myself from a mirror. Especially, like I said, with everything going on around this world, you don't know how many good things are gonna start coming about. Like, right now, the whole let's take away all this relationship stuff and everything. Let's talk about this good stuff right now. Besides the good relationship that I'm in. But anyways, let's talk about the good stuff that's right now. In the sense of, if you guys are watching the podcast and not just listening to it, I know you see that I look like the only Puerto Rican because I have a Yankees thing, red and blue hat, whatever the case is. And it's not more or less because I'm trying to rep, it is. But it's also because I just want to show off my heritage, or where I would say I came from, and I'm still learning. You understand? Everything that's going on right now in the world. We just had the Super Bowl announcement where Bad Bunny was announced that he was going to be doing the halftime, performance and things like that. And then we had the ignorant comment of somebody, I'm not into politics like that much, so I don't know the gentleman's name, but that he came out and basically said that he was going to make sure that ICE was going to be there for the halftime performance, and that there's no safe haven. And again, don't quote me on everything, because just like you, I see things through TikTok and social media as well. But that actually was very much accurate. It wasn't no AI, it wasn't no fake news, it was nothing like that. And it kind of made me in a type of way feel not even outraged, but it was just more or less like how low of a man or government, whatever you want to say, whatever it is, how low you have to be to sit there and be like, oh yeah, Bad Bunny's performing, oh, Hispanics are performing, or a different culture that's other than English is performing, I'm gonna have this happen, haha. You know how petty you look, in a sense of like how small you look as well. Like, you are very much trying to overcompensate for something that you don't have, in the sense of threatening people's lives. Not doing that. I've been seeing people post their pride so heavy, to the point that this Super Bowl isn't even about Puerto Ricans, is not even about Hispanics. It's about literally every single body that is not the ideal American. It's about every single body that is still fighting to have that supposedly American dream that was created by a palm colored person. Because let's be honest, American dream is you having your home, having your family, and everything taken care of. It's not no white picket fence or this and that. That's just an add-on. You understand? That's not the American dream that everybody is like fantasizing about. The American dream that a lot of people came over here or came to America for, or whatever, came to New York or whatever the case is, and escaped where they needed to escape to because it was bad out there, is the America that is showing you that you have dreams and we are ready to help you achieve them. It's the America that is showing you you have this type of inspiration. Bet, let's make it bigger. Let's achieve the biggest you can get. You are your own enemy. That's what the America is. But no, America, in my perspective, feels like the enemy. Because now there are rules. Now you can't say certain things because you can offend somebody. And God forbid you have an opinion on certain political views. All hell is loose. So I wear my Puerto Rican flag or pin anywhere that I go at this point, and it's not because I'm doing Boricua pride or Bori pride or anything like that. I'm doing pride for every single body, and if I could get a pin that has every single body that don't look too huge on my hat, I gladly will. But that's why I show it. I don't show it because I'm trying to show that, you know, who's the worst, who's this, who's that. No, I'm showing it because Bad Bunny and everybody else have been trying to stand up for everybody that's either minority or that's immigrants or color is not correct in people's eyes. Like, he tried to do it for every single body. And I feel like just now in this moment, we should be continuing on. I feel like now in this moment, we should be showing a lot more love and pride that we have just in ourselves. We should be showing people what America is supposed to look like, not allowing them to continue to say what they want about Americans or how they are portrayed to be or anything. No. I'm at this point tired of being American, to be very honest. I wasn't even born in Puerto Rico, but at this point, if you want to take me there, please do so. The tickets right now are really expensive because you guys keep trying to go to see Bad Bunny, and now I can't even. But anyways, but I'm just saying, like, if that's the case, I'll go right back to my island. Everybody would go right back to their island because, in my perspective, New York, where the Statue of Liberty, you know, everybody's here. You could make the American dream. You could get your money right. All this stuff and that. Yeah, that's not no more, at all, at all. Cause why I'm over here paying $1,800 for a basement apartment, and then you got what all the way in Texas, you got $1,200 for a whole home. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know why y'all keep coming to New York. I'm just saying, but stop. Because when you guys come here, it screws me up for rent. And I need to get out of my parents' building. I need to be an adult. But yeah, no, but like, that's what I'm just saying. That's why I will continue to rep my colors. Not because I want to show the Puerto Rican pride because apparently we're so prideful. No. It's just because the movement that is happening right now needs to continue to happen. Like, at this point, I don't know if you guys saw TikTok or Instagram, but they have pins with y'all flags, every single flag. I will buy y'all some if y'all need to rep it. Like, I don't care. But honestly, like, on the realest shit, it's just that. Like, we just gotta be more focused. We gotta be more intuited with our stuff, especially the people from the 90s that are growing up and having kids right now and are doing everything that they're trying to do to not, you know, go back to any, generational curses or just, regular curses that are already happening that you can't control. We need to be intuitive with what's going on, in our world. We need to know that when whatever kids is going into this school, they're safe, there's this, there's that. I feel like a lot of us is not like that. I feel like a lot of us think that, you know what, the world is just going to keep going, it's just going to keep going, whatever the case is. And that's fine. The world is going to keep going. But you could also live your life to the fullest and know what your life is being consistent, like what's around it. You get what I'm saying? We can be smart, have fun, but not naive. We need to get more onto what's going on in our world because I promise you, if everybody, and I mean every single body who do content, every single body who just puts a story up, just posts a picture in a bikini or whatever the case is, if every single body was literally talking about what's going on and putting their input and trying to fix everything, yeah, I feel like we won't be crashing that much. I mean, that's my perspective. That's just what I'm saying, especially the people that actually make money out of this. I just feel like you guys have a bigger voice to use. And I know that, granted, I don't know anything about this. And I know that you could lose endorsements and things like that. But I feel like if you're more honest and true to yourself and more aware of what's going on, I feel like you get more people in your body. I'm just saying. I feel like I would want to watch you more when you're telling me exactly what's going on with the world, when I don't even know because I'm stuck in a hole in the wall and, you know, the news only shows a little bit of things. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just a little bit of what I think should be happening. But to be honest, I honestly just want to have a better life, not just for myself, but for everybody that's around me. That's why I talk about certain things on my podcast. I might not go into details with it. I might not even say much. I might even be just ranting for the past like 24 for 25 minutes, or even 30. But it's because all these things matter to me, and I don't think that it's, how do you say, pinpointed into our lives as much as it should be. Like, I'm gonna just say a little joke right here. I already freaking noticed that my maturity level needs to go up, not just with politics, not just with whatever else, but just honestly, just with my life. Because real quick, right? We're gonna just say this. My girl has a squeegee, right? A little squeegee thing, you know, like the window washer guys. Yes, she has that. And I was very confused onto why. I was taking a shower or whatever. And I was like, what is this? And she said, when you're done showering, I need you to squeegee the doors because she has a glass door. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, either I am not mature enough to have a squeegee, or everybody around me is not mature enough to have a squeegee, or this girl is just very OCD. And yeah, so I had asked her, I said, why do you have that? And she told me that it was because of the streaks on the, what is it, the bathroom glass, so it doesn't get dirty or it doesn't look crazy. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I am now getting a squeegee. Because why that shit looked like it was freshly cleaned and no little, what is it, droplets or nothing like that. And I'm convinced that my side of my life is not as OCD as she is, or, you know, think about a squeegee. So I'm gonna get one for everybody. And hopefully we can mature in that sense. And that little steps. But I did feel like a window washer, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It took me back to the days where I felt like I was gonna ask her for $5 after for a tip. Thought I needed a bucket and some soap. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, there's certain things that we still have to mature with, even if it's the little thing, even if it's the big thing. There's certain things that we're going to learn. And like I said, I feel like we should really stick to speaking up and giving out our opinion, because if we stay quiet, then who the hell am I going to talk to about all the shit that goes on in my head? Like, I do this podcast for a reason. I need you guys to tell me if I'm crazy or not, because all I'm doing is just talking and you guys are just listening in and not helping. So, but yes, I really do appreciate all of you guys for listening to me and just giving your input. And thank you guys for giving me the time to speak. My name is King. This is King's Podcast. And you already know we're in Shoe Studios with Spud Brooklyn. Thank you guys for watching.